Loveronis! Welcome to the partial solar eclipse in Virgo, happening on September 21st, 2025. I'm going to talk about how this eclipse might be showing up in your personal life, but I'm also going to talk about how it might be affecting things in the umbrella of the country that I live in. Got some ringers joining the team this week. We've got our Empress of Exposing Affairs, Juno, and our Guardian of Forbidden Sexuality, Black Moon Lilith in Scorpio. Huzzah, my good bitches in Christ. Okay, so please like and subscribe. Oh, and meet me for a reading, michellecraft.love. At the lunar eclipse that happened on September 7th, we were talking about the shadow aspects of Virgo and Pisces and how they're on that sadomasochistic axis. But now this eclipse is happening in Virgo. So let's look at how positive Virgo can be, because that was all about shadow. And for the record, how could you be so stupid? Is not a positive expression of Virgo. The best version of Virgo is reflected in the timeless archetype of the mother. If she's adept at juggling the big things and the little things, the micro, the macro, running the household and distributing, and this is the important part, distributing unconditional love to her children as they grow, and doing that by seeing what they don't have, what they're lacking, and how she can solve for that lack. Ironic that I'm saying that she's kind of a mother archetype, right? Because Virgo, virgin, but virgin in Virgo is not the same thing as what we think of as virgin today. Like in the olden days, it meant a woman who she might be not have had sex, but she doesn't have to answer to anybody. That's the big thing. And this idea of virgin meaning pristine real estate for a man to own and plunder, or even calling out virginity as an identifier. It's just so rude. Rude. It's part of our culture's general disrespect for women. And sure, we call men and boys virgins too, but for them, if they're a virgin, they're like lower on the totem pole, and once they're not a virgin anymore, their worth rises, whereas for us, it's depreciation. But wait, don't despair. Women's roles and status are a big part of what is changing in our wild-ass astrological times that we're having right now. But I digress. Virgo is organized and meticulous. She wants clarity, cleanliness, and perfection. And crucial point, the best expression of Virgo doesn't see a lack of perfection as something to feel angry or guilty about. It's a work order. That's all. We don't have to get our emotions all tied up in it. Having a goal to be perfect, it's doomed from the start. Like, nothing is perfect. I would venture to say, don't come at me, that God is imperfect. Like, it's always creating itself, so it's not done cooking. Anyway, to me, it is a relief to think of perfection as not being the goal or as impossible to achieve, because that kind of mental pressure just crumples me up or a paper bag. It's kept me from finishing things because when I'm done, then it's time to judge it. But as long as I'm still working on it, it's still in that amorphous part where maybe it is going to be perfect. Maybe it's going to be great. The mistakes, the issues aren't finalized yet. And it's a crippling issue. When I finish something, then all I can see is the flaws. Like, yeah, I've got Virgo in my chart. And thinking that perfection is the only acceptable answer really gets in the way of progress, because we're going to reject anything out of hand that doesn't pass the purity test, right? We're going to reject like the little baby steps that lead to real positive change. And I'm looking at you, people who won't vote for a candidate because there's one little box that's not checked, or even if it's a handful, anything close to perfection comes by degrees and by small efforts built up over time. It's not a lump sum thing that just happens, like now we have a perfect leader. No, come on. That's not realistic. It's not. Give me an example of how that has happened in your life. But I digress. In our culture, we focus a lot on the goal, not the lived experience, not the loving labor that brings us to the goal. And the drive for perfection in Virgo can't be like chained to having only perfect outcomes or even having static outcomes, because perfection for Virgo is an action, not a result. It's Mercury's sign. It's a mutable sign. Like, it's Action Jackson, man. So we need to embrace the perfect imperfection of reality. Where we are now, where our kids are now, where our spouse is now, where our fellow citizens are now. We have to open our arms when the help is needed and then open them again to let them go. And that's really the bottom line of Virgo, letting go of judging control and finding the real holy immaculate in Mercury, action, and our intentions. Virgo, being of service to others, because that's where this is all headed. Virgo is about service. Service and seeing what is lacking and coming to fix the problem. Gavin Newsom, for example, Gen X extraordinaire, J.B. Pritzker also. Gavin Newsom has Pluto in Virgo, and it is right on his ascendant. It's exact to within 10 minutes. So like a tiny portion of a degree. It's so almost exact. So nice Virgoing, Gavin. Nice action. But I digress. The eclipse is at a powerhouse degree in Virgo, 29 degrees and 5 minutes. Like the last degree of any sign is the most powerful of that sign. And an hour after the eclipse, the moon leaves Virgo, and the next day, so does the sun. And they're rolling over to Libra, seeing what needs to be done, like seeing what's lacking, and then zipping off to do it, to find the balance. Quest for balance, Libra. I love it. And we've got a sweet little mutual reception thing going on there with Venus in Virgo and Mercury in Libra. Guide the energy of this eclipse towards the productive, more towards communication and love, and the quest for balance. Because like Libra is not inherently balanced. It's looking for balance. So my big word up to you is don't believe what you're hearing out there. It's really difficult to find a source of the truth these days, and I'm begging you, get at least one of your news sources from outside of this lovely country we're in, so that you get like a perspective about how the rest of the world is viewing what's happening here. They don't have the same motivations as we do. Because the truth really is that hearts, the moon, and minds, Mercury, are changing. They really are. We're getting blasted with overwhelming force with a different message. We think of new moons as beginnings, and they are, but this new moon is on the south node. That is related to the past and things that we're letting go of. So my most optimistic reading of all these symbols put together is that we are entering a phase of coming together to solve a problem. You can see here in the chart that everybody but Jupiter is somehow touching this eclipse. We're still getting support from Pluto in Aquarius and Uranus in Gemini. And although Saturn and Neptune are opposing this eclipse, they're hanging out there with the North Node, which is our evolutionary path forward, right? This is like our head and our heart, the sun and the moon, and everything I described above, getting together and opposing this Saturn structure that's already dissolving, and this Neptune in Aries drive to hide the real intention or to cloak actions in religious piety. So that's what I'm seeing that the tension here is. In our regular lives, all of this may be true depending on what house it falls in your birth chart and how it's interacting with your personal planets. It might be like a nothing burger, or it might be really raining hell down upon your head. But if you're struggling, michellecraft.love, order a reading and we'll talk about it. We'll see how you can feel better. Anyway, we might be finding new ways to bring Neptune spirituality or music or the arts into the picture. We might be getting rid of Saturn's grip on our feelings, like realizing we can bend without breaking, or that kindness isn't weakness, that it's okay to ask for help, that we don't have to see things in black and white terms. And we might also be looking at our childhood and the beliefs that we got from our parents that need to be dissolved. I got a whole bucket of those. We might realize where we're being gaslit. That's a Neptunian tactic all day. Or that what we thought was stable and permanent can be just washed away before our eyes. Mars is doing some really interesting things too. He's in a last quarter square with Pluto, an aspect that describes a crisis in belief. Yes, Loveronis, yes! Do we accept external control? Are we doing what we're told? Or do we realize that what we're being told to do is bullshit, and we, Pluto trine Uranus, flip the tables, the really big tables? Or the little ones in our lives, our personal lives. We're being urged to take action in the name of fairness. Actions that reflect the needs of society. It's right there in the chart. To see that taking care of society takes care of our personal lives. Like, I think that just gets lost. We need to, Libra, work towards balance, not domination. And to Virgo, serve, not shame. And here's my favorite part. Jupiter, who enlarges, who expands, he's all by himself. No aspects to anyone, and that means he is really loud. Any unaspected planet is going to be really loud, whether it's in our natal chart or just, in the daily chart. Oh, and don't make the mistake of believing that Jupiter is all good and here's a 20. He is always, always, always ready to hand us enough rope to hang ourselves with. Unaspected Jupiter in emotional Cancer makes our eclipse feelings scream real loud. So if you're feeling really overwhelmed emotionally, that might have something to do with it. Whenever there are unaspected planets in a chart, I will throw in the kitchen sink of asteroids and everything else to see if there's something, any of the more quiet players involved that we wouldn't think of as being normally aspected to a planet. Every time I do this, I just have to laugh. What do you know? Jupiter is 6 minutes off of an exact trine. 6 minutes. Exact trine to good old Black Moon Lilith in Scorpio, honey. She is, and I can't make this shit up, in the moon's decan in Scorpio. Oh, hey, let's boost those emotions even more. Black Moon Lilith in Scorpio is big feelings around sex, the forbidden, things that are taboo, like kinks and peddling, Ophelia. Shame, 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 shame. I mean, but please, and I can't stress this enough, bringing this back to our regular person lives, there's a lot of shame around admitting when we were wrong, especially when we are screaming our heads off about it about how right we are, and then to realize that we're wrong. Yeah, you can ask me about that anytime. Because, as I probably have said too many times on this channel, I used to be a gun-toting, woman-hating, self-loathing Republican. The shame that I felt when I started to realize that I was believing the lies. It's like suffocating. Like, I can still work up a good round of aching self-recrimination today if I think about things that I did and said and believed. Like, oh my God. And that was 30 years ago that I started to see the light. So if you see an opening in our community, like, be kind and find some common ground. They're not the enemy. Like, they've been duped by the actual enemy. And if we're going to give them a bucket full of shame, that's, you get more flies with honey than you do vinegar, right? Enough about that. This is also an excellent time to start the journey of healing our wounds from sexual abuse. We might feel like it's all we can think about at this eclipse. If that's something that you too have experienced, pretending it didn't happen will not make it go away. It's not going to fix itself. And that's your job to fix you now, for the love of you. Just out of orb, but right next to Black Moon Lilith, is Juno, the wife of Jupiter. In their Greek form, more than in the Roman form, which is Juno and Jupiter. The Greek form is Hera and Zeus, and they had a terrible, terrible marriage. Zeus was constantly cheating on Hera with girls and boys and men and women, consensual and not consensual. And her shame, anger, and revenge about it is legendary. So Juno is sextile to the solar eclipse, so her topics are going to be alive too, if we have the courage to push them. She's trying to Saturn, where she's going to be participating in the dissolution of structures that have outworn their usefulness, my good bitches in Christ. Your love life might be undergoing a renovation, or some unfair situation you're aware of in your life might be exposed and seen by other people. Because Juno always knew what was going on, no matter what lengths her husband took to hide the truth from her. And she did not mind putting these sexual activities on blast for everyone to see. Like, that was her superpower. Like, holy exposure archetype, Batman. Finally, getting back to Mars, he's getting in on the act with a really tight semi-sextile from where he's sitting in Libra to the new moon. An excellent potential for adversaries to come together, even though it feels really weird and awkward. So again, please stay open to new ideas, new ways of seeing and appreciating each other. Let us have a meeting of the minds. Let's put our Mars drive into reunification of this country. Did I say that out loud? We really need that. This is about timeless values, and the most basic value we have got. It's been seen in cultures since 1650 BCE, y'all. A long time. It's the golden rule. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. All cultures have a version of this. Every single one of them, because that's Jupiter natural law. And now is an excellent time to lay down our immediate defensive postures and just breathe. So take heart and take care of yourself. Let's find the perfect in the everyday. Let's put the perfect into our intentions about the future, the intention behind our actions, and stop looking for perfect results. It's a messy world. You're not going to fix that. And so when you feel like things are going further into the ditch and you're starting to get really upset about the state of the world, remember that there are more of us than there are of them, even in Texas. my good bitches in Christ. Narcissistic people are weak and they want us to be afraid, but all of their power is in that mind game, that head trip. So don't be afraid. Have faith in the good. Mr. Rogers said, look for the helpers, and that's who we need to be, the helpers. Virgo, things are happening, you guys. And remember, I love you, but the universe loves you more. I'll see you very soon.